negotiating for the best prices on medication. And it leaves gaps in coverage that leave many seniors still unable to afford their medicine. Now let's take a minute to talk about these gaps in coverage because, as all of you know, they are one of the biggest problems with what is now called Medicare Part D. They've come to be known as the donut hole. I have to tell you, I never understood this. It seems to me a donut is kind of sweet. A hole implies this is round. The way I look at this has people falling off a cliff. Your insurance helps you pay for the first $2,250 worth of medicine, but once you've used that much, you're on your own. You have to pay the next $2,850 entirely out of your own pocket while you're paying premiums on top. Your coverage only kicks in once you pay that $2,850. And many people just can't afford that. So they're back where they started, choosing between food and medicine. It didn't have to be this way. This benefit is designed this way because President Bush and Congressman Wolf were more concerned with HMO and drug company profits and election year politics than with helping seniors. These powerful special interests are making a fortune off of our tax dollars and senior savings. Now, I know at least a few of you, and perhaps many of you, have experienced the worst parts of this system. And I'd like to hear you, to have you share your story with us. George, I'll give you the floor. Tell us about your experience.
Well, my name is George Gilmore, and I'll be 74 next month. Yeah, this drug policy of Medicare Part D is no help to me. I had it set up where I ended up, I was only paying around $50 a month, and I take 10 prescriptions a day. I had samples from the doctors coming to me. I was on the Patient's Assistance Program for a lot of the drug companies, my companies, and it helped out because the Patient's Assistance would send me 3 months supply, it didn't cost me anything, and all of that. I had a stroke in '94 that left me, I can't use my right hand much, and it's a little rough. Sometimes walking too. 96, I ended up having a pacemaker put in. In 99, I was diagnosed as a diabetic too. And in 2001, I went through external radiation treatment for prostate cancer. It's been rough. As you all know, the Social Security doesn't pay that much on it. When I had my stroke, for the first 2 years, I was fine because my company, I was on long-term disability, and they were paying for my insurance, my drugs and everything like that. But then when that ran out, I had to change my life around a little bit. It was hard. I had to go from being a right-handed person to a left-handed person. I still haven't conquered that.
Yeah.
You hear people talking, and they hear them politicians saying, "Oh, this is so much better for seniors. They're saving so much." I'll let you know how much they're saving. When they come out with Medicare Part D, the drugs that I were getting from my samples from my doctors, they went generic. And once they go generic, you don't get them anymore. Because the doctors don't get generic drugs to give as samples. Up until I had my stroke, I was a pretty decent person driving around, could get around myself. I worked every day. I wish I could now, but I can't. It's been hard, but thank goodness I've got a good doctor. My primary care physician is the best. I've had him since '94, and every time he refers me to another doctor or somebody else to look at me to do something, I go and I've never had any problem with him. He referred me to an oncologist. She's a woman and she's very good. My cardiovascular doctor is good. And I've had all kinds. And it's hard getting around a lot. I don't go like I used to. I stay home with my 4 cats. And believe me, they are a help. Because I have one cat that if I should fall, he's right there with me, walking around and seeing what he can do to help me get up.
George, tell us about your experience of you must have gotten some benefits from the drug program, but have you hit the cliff or the donut hole?
I haven't hit it yet, but once I hit that cliff, I won't be able to get my drugs. I won't be able to buy them. It's just it. That's how close that I'm living on what I make Social Security. I am buying my own condo. It's costing me almost $1,000 a month out of my Social Security. And of course there's my television, my satellite, my electric and all that. It comes out of the other $200. Probably $2,000 or $1,000, whatever. And it isn't much as you can live on. I've got a good, reliable car. It's a 1979 Cadillac, but it still runs. And you find all kinds of ways, and you look around to see what you can do, where you can be. It's hard, but you have to keep a stiff upper lip, and which I did. I spent 9 days in rest in the hospital when I had my stroke. It took a month to spend a month in Baltimore rehab. I had a slight problem, but I would talking to you or stand here talking to you, and I would start welling up to kind of cry. No reason. I had no worries. I could get back to work. I could have my job back and all that. But I still cried. Well, as I was getting ready to check out and everything, there was a little girl in there that was in a wheelchair. She had had a stroke. And she was doing the same thing that I was. And I went to her and they asked me, the nurses asked me to talk to her. And I talked to her and told her, don't worry about the crying because that comes natural with what you had in the stroke. And it's nothing you can do about it. Well, she thought about it for a little while, and then she thanked me. And when she thanked me, she said, that helps a whole lot. And the nurses thanked me, and of course I checked out and went through rehab, exercises, therapy, and everything else to try to get my hand stuff back. But they told me when I had my stroke, I would probably never get all the use of my hand back, and I haven't. I remember the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Welfare, Social Security and Medicare, and it's been nice. Yeah, and you learn a lot from them through their brochures and stuff they send you.
And it probably helps you cope with try to deal with the problems you're facing, right?
Well, it helps you there, and it also helps understand this political business is going on that George Bush liked because he gave the Medicare, but the drug companies money back. They get money back now. They get all kinds, and when they have